Hello and welcome to Seasonal Flow Yoga with me, Sarah. This is a check-in sequence, which you could do in seated or in bed. I'm going to demonstrate from a mat. It would be useful to have perhaps 2 or 3 pillows or a bolster and a cushion or pillow under the head. And maybe if you would like to raise your legs later on in the practice, though pillows are sufficient, you could have a chair at the end of your mat or place your mat next to a sofa or a bed. So you may want to press pause and get yourself set up, and then we can begin. So, finding your position for today's check-in practice, perhaps in a shavasana, supporting your lower limbs to allow for a greater connection from the sacrum and the waist into the mat. Palms of the hands upwards, not forcing them right up, but just softly unfurling upwards. Feet hip width apart or so. And back of the neck lengthening, supported by the cushion. Finding that connection with the breath, noticing each inhale and each exhale. Connecting without judgment to the length of the breath and where in the body you can feel the rise and the fall, the ebb and the flow of your breath as it is today, as it is now. So relaxing across the jaw, softening between the eyebrows, seeing if you can soften the belly, the abdomen, and allow for a more expansive breath, softly being led by what feels right for your body today. And exploring with your fingertips, what does it feel like to unfurl the fingers a little further, not stretching wide, just unfurling. And then to furl them up, curling the fingertips in as if around a little ball. Opening slowly and closing slowly, like little leaf buds exploring into these cold early spring days. A little more light, but furling back into stillness and rest for now. Perhaps connecting with the breath, inhaling to uncurl the fingers and exhaling to curl them back up. Inhaling to unfurl and exhaling to curl them back up. Your breath may be faster or slower. Connecting your unfurling and your curling with your breath. One more, inhaling to unfurl and exhaling to curl the fingertips in softly. Then letting the movement go, letting the arms feel heavy, back of the head heavy into the mat and the pillow. From here, if it feels right too, we may take a little side stretch. So by placing your feet on the floor, you might bump your hips just an inch or so just to the right, and then let the legs extend back down. And you might bring your right arm bent to one side. Got my arm just to one side. You might choose to look down towards the corner of the room I'm rolling my chin down towards my shoulder so I feel a stretch through the side of my right body. And just breathe into the right side of the body now. Try to let your shoulder and your hip feel heavy. And rolling your head back up to center, drawing your arm back down. Carefully placing the soles of the feet down to bring the pelvis to center. And then keeping the feet down on the mat, just exploring a movement with the pelvis, tilting the pelvis backwards and forwards. Just a little movement. You might tilt it forwards enough for there to be a little space there under the back. And you might curl it back round and under so you can almost feel your tailbone lifting, but not quite. So 2 or 3 more of these movements, very small movements with the pelvis. And then pausing in stillness. And we'll come to the other side for the side stretch. So moving the hips just an inch or so to the left, extending the legs back out. This time bending the left elbow and bringing the left arm by the side of the head and rolling the head round to the right to look down at a 45-degree angle as if at the corner of the room. And then let the body sink down into your support. So left hip and left shoulder feeling nice and heavy into the mat. Softly exploring this side stretch. In a chair you could just move, swaying perhaps your spine side to side rather than holding in stillness. That can feel a lot in seated. Exploring some side flexion here. Okay, rolling the head back to center, bringing the arm back down by the side and with care placing soles of the feet down on the mat, moving the hips back to center. Keeping the soles of the feet there once more, just tilting, rocking the pelvis, tilting it backwards and forwards. It can be a very tiny movement. Okay. From here, bringing the right knee in over the chest, lifting the right arm up and keeping the left arm down, the left shoulder down, just bringing that left arm crossing over the body, only as far as is comfy. So you might keep that arm bent, that's fine, and you may choose to turn your head to look over towards the left. So we're aiming just to have some sensation of a stretch through the left shoulder blade there. Okay, bringing the head back to center, drawing the arm back down and letting the right foot settle back on the floor. We'll come straight to the other side if that's okay, lifting that left knee up, maybe giving it a gentle squeeze in. And then this time keeping the right shoulder heavy, bringing the right arm over the body. You might choose to look, have your gaze, your head turned towards the right. Again, not going to your fullest extent, just exploring into this gentle stretch here through the right shoulder. Softening around the neck and the shoulders. Drawing the head back to center, letting the right arm come down, the left foot come down. Resting the lower limbs down on your support. And you can either stay here or you may choose to recline your legs higher. So, to demonstrate Flo's practice today, putting lower limbs up on the chair. complete our check-in sequence. Closing down the eyes. Or you could choose to lie down on your bed and curl up in a baby pose. Curling up in a baby pose on your side on the floor can feel nice. So finding once more this stillness. This time of stillness, awakening softly. The cycles of nature, honouring the need to rest before a period of growth or bloom. Seeing if you can maintain that connection with your breath here. Taking 2 or 3 lovely conscious breaths. So we stay here in this restorative pose. Each breath expanding the rib cage. Each exhale softening the body further into your support. And then letting your attention drift away even from your breath. Giving yourself a moment in stillness here, either before a restorative practice or before you finish your practice for today. So you can choose to stay in your supported legs up the wall or legs to chair pose. Or you may wish to join me to close this practice today. So taking great care and plenty of time to come down out of the supported pose. Maybe coming to lie on your side in that curled up fetal baby position pose for a moment before coming perhaps to a comfortable seat. To close practice together. So thank you for practicing this check-in sequence with me, drawing hands to heart center. I wish you peace. Om Shanti.